Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fire Emblem Blazing Sword Let's Play. Once again, just me this time. I'm kind of recording this late at night. Olivia's exhausted and different time zone for Zane. I haven't asked him just yet to be on. So just me for this one, but, got to keep this Let's Play going, got to keep things moving. And I just, I can't leave you guys hanging forever. I already did. It was bad enough when I put it on hiatus for 1 week, so I've just got to keep pressing forward. It's not easy running two channels, but I do it all for you guys. And hey, I love talking about Fire Emblem, and I love talking about this game because, again, I've kind of been naughty, and I've recorded 2 chapters further. I've now completed now I'm chapter 23, and god damn it, this game is so good. It's just so much damn fun. There's so many reasons as to why it's my favorite Fire Emblem game. But anyway, so we're now on chapter 13, and apparently we're in search of the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, but we are not going to get the truth for a while because stuff. The Black Fang are not the most honest of people, so squeezing the truth out of them, not easy. Not easy at all. And things are not looking good for this guy because, like I said the last part, the moment you start to deviate away from the Black Fang or you decide you want to cut all ties with them, they will cut you down, and, They care not for who you are or what your status is. If you don't agree with them, they will kill you. They will just so well on the internet. You don't agree with me, you deserve to die. Kind of morbid, but you get comments like that sometimes. And just got Eliwood and Hector being best buddies. I swear you could turn this into kind of like a buddy comedy with just Eliwood and Hector just doing shit. And you have I don't know, if you want to throw a lid in there, go right ahead. Oh no, if they do make a Fire Emblem Blazing Sword movie, people, if they started straight from here, maybe skip Lynn's part, which I highly doubt they would, and they think it's like a fantasy, war type thing. It's like, no, by the first couple of chapters, they would have think it's like a buddy comedy starring Eliwood and Hector, played by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. How many actors can we get to play Hector? Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Nick Frost. Why don't we just get, fucking, I don't know, we get Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., because why not? Hey, I love Robert Downey Jr. Oh, this guy? Yeah, that's literally him. His name is Guy. Yeah, he's one of those characters. The characters whose names are, the characters whose names have about as much effort put into them as Echo's map design. But, it's sad. It's really weird and also kind of sad that Guy is not a very uncommon name. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's weird. But he's our token, Myrmidon that we have to recruit because, of course. And as far as this chapter goes, it's, it is kind of basic, but at the same time, it's deceptively difficult. In the sense that if you take the downward path, the enemy, because there's fortress there, they will come at you at certain points. They will, kind of come at you in quite the bombardment. And that can, granted, one end, they're not at the point where they're a massive threat, but you'll be surprised just how much they can take out of you. And if you are a bit unlucky, you can lose someone. Granted, it's highly unlikely that you will, but it's always a possibility in this map. So when taking the down route, be sure to take it slow and don't be too trigger happy, because you might end up biting you in the ass. Because I've had some close calls in this chapter when you just want to rush through it. So just take your time with this one. Don't think. But also, if you go the top route, you can go in from a different angle. And I like to often send Eliwood and Hector that way just because, just so I can isolate the enemies and thingamajig. Just focus on leveling them up. Because as you notice, I'm sending all the rest of the infantry down this way. Eliwood and Hector are the ones, taking the other path because, hey, they can handle it. They're a champ. They know what to do. Especially in this case, because goddamn. Alright, I don't know what it is, but just looking at the stats of the team, as the game kind of goes along and stuff, this might be one of the best Blazing Sword teams I've ever done. The same goes for Radiant Dawn, but I'll talk about that later. Because, no, it's just a case of everyone's getting really strong level ups. Some it's literally just being really RNG blessed. Others it's like, you know, like legit, like just really solid level ups. Like Lucius has been really good. Raven's been very solid. Lynn, it's alright, guys. I'm like seriously, when we get to like past 16 onwards, it's not even funny how strong Lynn is. It's not funny at all. Like, for me, it's hilarious. For everyone else, it's hilarious. For those who don't like Lynn or think she's a terrible unit, and like objectively she is bad, but the moment you see her stats, your jaw's gonna drop, and you're gonna be like, what the actual fuck? It's nuts. Yeah, and just everyone, Sane, Oswin, Hector, even Ellie was getting, like, being really good with his level ups. Everyone, like, this is one of the best runs I've had of Blazing Sword, and I'm having so much fun doing it. And because of this, I did mention with every Fire Emblem game, we'll always do the hard mode playthrough later. Hector hard mode might come quicker, not only because it's one of the hard modes that is a bit more unique, but also because it just means I get to play Blazing Sword again, and I will take any opportunity I can to play this game, because, you know, I fucking love Blazing Sword. Yeah, and as you can see, Rebecca's doubling. Like I said, Rebecca's got good speed, so she has no trouble doubling me, which is just a shame that she can't hit very hard or take the hits, but hey, you get some prices to pay. So, obviously it won't be straight afterwards. For those wondering, next Let's Play is Crash Bandicoot 1. Well, it's also going to be my last Let's Play because it's going to be all fine and good. We get to Sunset Vista, I lose my mind, I jump out the window and fall to my death because I cannot handle that fucking level. Also, this is not Insane Trilogy one where I have the option to, you know, still be here because it's a normal gen level and die. No. I'm going to do the whole thing in a single run without dying. Fuck that level. Ugh. It's taken its toll on me over the years. It's affected me in many ways. This is actually a funny thing. I know that sometimes you reuse this concept in other Fire Emblem games, but in Blazing Sword you can have mines and light runes, which light runes they basically block the enemy from walking through, and mines, you know, it's kind of a given what they do. Here's the thing, I may only use them. That's critical at 2%. Blazing Light strikes again. I think I use mines and light runes maybe once every time I play Blazing Sword, but no more than that because I just honestly find them almost pointless. Almost. I mean, I could see some nice good use for it, but it's just not for me. It's like, I'd rather not. Even though I'm a more defensive player, I really think of it. And oh look, it's this guy. Yeah, so if you remember from Binding Blade, Merlinus, yeah, he's in this game. In here, he's just a merchant, and he's pretty much the joke character, and you'll see why in the next chapter, because this is a 2 parts because it wasn't very long, so, you know. Might as well include both. Oh, God. So yeah, the enemies do start crowding around. I think some will spawn in a minute, and Oswin, you are beautiful. You are beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. You're not my favourite Fire Emblem Knight, but you're a knight, so that automatically gives you a plus. What about Meg? Shut up! Yeah, for the most part, like, aside from Meg, I don't think there's a Fire Emblem Knight I straight up dislike. I like all the ones in Echoes. I like all the ones. I do like all the ones in Binding Blade. I don't use Balls of Bath very often, and I like Wendy more than I should, but that's just me. Love him in the. Alright, I love all. I love the 3 of them in Tellius. I love the ones in Fates. Callum's cool. Kiel I really like. You know, she just compete with Gilliam. Gilliam is my favourite. Well, Amelia varies because she's technically a student. She can become Cavalier and all that. Cavalier and all that jazz. Yeah, those are the knights I can think of. Oh, yeah. Okay. Arden I don't really like because Arden's next to goddamn useless and his sprite is ugly. Sorry, Arden. I know that's a limitation for the time, but you are one of the most useless Fire Emblem units I've ever had to use. You just put a 4 movement slow as fuck unit in Genealogy, the game where unless you're a mouse unit, get the fuck out to the back line. Fire Emblem had some questionable design choices back then, and in some cases it still does, but some very questionable design choices back then. Like, I'm so glad the series does not suffer from like a lot of its archaic roots. But that's just franchise progression. Could you imagine if Pokemon was still as broken as it was in Gen 1? That would have made things interesting, to say the least. Yeah, now, because, you know, we've got 2 Axemen, a soldier, and an archer, so we've really got to decide on who to go with. Like I said, this chapter can take you by surprise if you're not being careful. I mean, to be fair, I have kind of limited myself because Dorcas and Barter are with me, rather than just Edward and Hector, so if I sent them down here, I'd have a better chance, but, you know, what are you going to do? You've got to make the best out of every situation. Otherwise, Fire Emblem just isn't Fire Emblem. Though I think, if I remember correctly, Matthew takes quite the beating in this part. I think it's either Matthew or Rebecca. Either way, one of them is getting an ass whooping, and they're not going to like it. And here goes Hector the Rector, if he hits. Yes, he does. Again, Hector, because of the low skill, he doesn't always reliably land a hit, especially against like a unit that has an advantage against him, but generally, I'd say give a few levels or 2, Hector will start landing hits. Oh yeah, and they start with the support chain. Elwood and Hector's support chain is a weird one because most supports are used to like, you know, find out something new about the characters or or like start a relationship and strengthen it from there. But Elwood and Hector's one, it's not really more about finding more about them. It's just like banter between them, which may sound odd, but it works for them because we already know so much about the relationship just through the story alone. So having this banter makes the connection between them more genuine and real. And I like the way it does that because if you already know enough about them through the story, there's no point really doing all this just to flesh out more and more of them. We've already got enough of that. Rather have them interact in a way that makes them more human and stuff, and you feel more connected to these characters, and you get why they're best friends. You know, they're rivals, they've grown up together, and they work off each other. Elwood's very calm and collected and stuff like that, and Hector's a arrogant idiot, but they love each other. They do love each other. Also, as we'll see later on, well, for one of the supports, because we only get to B support with Hector, Elwood and Hector will never have A supports in my playthroughs. Why? Because in this game it's Ninian, and in normal mode it's Ninian, and in Hector hard mode it's going to be Lyn. Point being, it's also foreshadowing to Binding Blade in their support that we'll see. I can't remember which chapter we see it actually, but we'll see it at some point. I don't know when, but yeah. Oh, and Dorcas got a speed level up. That's a rare sight, but I'm always happy to get more speed. That's the one stat in Fire Emblem which I am always happy to see increase. You know, I don't like, even if it's just what plus, like that's the only stat that goes up, doesn't matter. Speed is the stat I like the most in Fire Emblem. Why? Because it means I have the highest chance of doubling and a higher chance of not being doubled. If there's one thing that really emphasizes how bad a unit can be or how strong a boss is, when you go to fight them, it's like, yeah, you're getting doubled, and you're just like, hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. It's like when you go into Radiant Dawn and you try to like go up against like maybe a Diginty or something. It's like Sonic. It's like Diginty is doubling you. He's doing like 45 damage per hit, and you've got 31 HP. Good luck with that. Yeah. Why exactly did they use Marcus? Either someone missed or just wanted to make sure they were dead. Something like that. Probably just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I think I was also didn't want Matthew to fight because he's at low health. I don't know. Either way, Marcus got to do something. Which is more than he got to do in Binding Blade, so that's an automatic plus. So anyway, here we go with Guy. Yeah, this is, I do the same thing as Sacred Stones. Whenever, like, because you meet Joshua, Thingamajig, I always send Gilliam out. Sometimes I de-equip it, otherwise sometimes it's just a normal Iron Lance to fight, and even if Joshua or Guy crits me, I can still survive, so that's actually a good way to recruit enemies. Have it so that a unit can take the hits, but also won't kill them. Usually a very slow unit, so if a knight can take the hits, go for it. If they can't, don't do it. Just think of a cleverer way to get around them. Or something like that. Oh yeah, I also went and bought hand nets because Hector could really do with one of those. But right now, just use the iron one. Because, fuck it. I'm Hector. You know what? That's actually a good way to describe how Hector's performance in Elois mode. Fuck you, I'm Hector. Fuck it, I'm Hector. I can do anything. And I will do anything. So anyway, now we're going to recruit Guy. Okay, so Guy. Guy's a good unit. Guy is a good guy. Allow me to elaborate. He's a typical sword master and stuff, and he also has a really big grin on his face, kind of like how Sarah does, but his isn't shitting, his is just kind of dopey. That's a dopey little smile, bless his soul. And Matthew's got the cunning smile, he's just got the yeah. Guy is really good in regards to skill and speed, so doubles easily, won't miss a hit, all that jazz, and he tends to have I think he's got a pretty good critical hit ratio, so there's that going for him. His biggest problem is that he's frail and his strength isn't very good, also his constitution sucks, so some of the heavier weapons can weigh him down, but again, usually his speed is so good that it's not a problem. If you want to use a Sword Master, he's a fine choice. I mean, the only other choice is Lyn, and objectively she's bad, but I reckon if Lyn, like maybe you played through Thing mode and Lyn was really strong by the end, then either you stick with Lyn or you just use Guy as a backup. If not, like if you're going straight from Elwood mode, Guy's a better choice because he just starts better off. And all that and stuff like that. And, ow, fuck you. Connect up with this guy? Nah, I don't think so. So, yeah. And when this guy promotes, he gets a lot better because just being a sword master and all. Do I use Guy? Sometimes, generally no, because again I have Lyn, but I've used him on then and now. You know, he's cool. In terms of his character, he is kind of like typical furrish sword master. Just no, sorry, let me rephrase that. He's kind of like one of those, you know, loner types. He's just trying to make his way in the world and have us like just trying to eat. Though I do like the relationship between him and Matthew, because Matthew kind of like messes around with him and really screws with him because he's indebted to him. So he uses that as a way to just basically control Guy, so to speak. And it's pretty funny. And oh god, that guy is yeah, if you notice, his eyes look a little different. Either they've been gouged out or he just can't open them. Oh boy. That is, it's not going to end well for this guy. And if things went normally, if you didn't go to the house at the top, you don't get the conversation with Merlinus and you don't get the sub-chapters to the next bit. Granted, you don't need to because Merlinus will join you regardless. However, if you do the sub-chapter, then he joins earlier, and I think you should do it, not only because I think it's a good chapter, but because you just get the inventory thing quicker and it's just worth it because it's so much easier to manage items. Especially because the chapter afterwards is quite, you get a few new units and there's a lot of there's shops you can go to, and it's not uncommon to stock up a lot there. So, like, again, I think Blazing Sword, even though they're optional, I really think the sub-chapters, or the guidance chapters if you will, should be tackled at all costs because they're good, you know. They give you some cool little bonuses, they're fun to tackle, and they help to level up your units. It's a win-win-win-win-win. I mean, I know there are some people who can't stand, what's-his-face, Night of Farewells, but I love that chapter from... Well, not so much from a gameplay standard, but more of a, god, this has such an emotional impact on Nino's arc that, you know, it's just awesome. That type of thing. So, now that I've gone on and on about this game, I feel, why not take this opportunity, because I didn't do last time, to talk about some other Fire Emblem related stuff, or just other stuff going on. So, if all of you saw on Twitter, next video I'm doing is a Blazing Rant. It is about a Nintendo franchise that is also an RPG, but I'm not saying what it is. And I know some people ask, but guys, I don't want to say because I want this to be a big surprise, because this is a video I'm really passionate about, really enjoying writing it. Granted, I'm at 7,400 words and I'm trying to write less, but it's difficult because there's so much to love about what I'm writing about, and it's so, it's just one of those things where it's writing itself, really, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really looking forward to how it turns out, because it's like, it's one of those cases where if anyone does, it doesn't have to be making videos, whenever you do a project or like something like that, and you have so much passion going into it, you just like, you have so much fun writing it, and it's just, and doing it, you know, you don't ever feel fatigued or tired or exhausted, you just love doing it because it's fun. This is exactly the case with the next one. I mean, I have fun making all the videos, though sometimes they can get on my nerves. Either I'm having trouble writing the script, the file crashes and I have to do it again, that kills me, or that I've got to get so much goddamn footage, it's really annoying. But, you know, this one especially, I'm just like, oh, it's coming together very nicely. With that said though, I know some people are asking what's going on with the Echoes list. Right after that Blazing Rant video, best of top 10, 15 Echoes songs coming out. That's a guaranteed 100% promise. That's going to happen because Echo soundtrack is still really, really good, and I feel, ironically, out of all the Echo's videos I've been requested to do, that one is the highest. That and a Let's Play, but I don't have a 3DS capture card yet. Hopefully I'll get one soon, but at the same time we've got the Switch coming out. Well, we've got Fire Emblem Warriors, the Switch is out. We've also got Fire Emblem Warriors coming out. I'm going to talk about that later, I don't know when. So I need to make sure I don't dive too much into my money, because those capture cards aren't cheap and the Switch isn't cheap. Nothing is cheap. Nothing is ever cheap. Blech. Yeah, and well, what's going on right here is, Hector's being Hector and teasing Eliwood about Lyn. Because, Hector's like, oh, I've got a thing for Lyn now. But Eliwood, well, through me, he's going to get with the best girls in this game. Lyn and Ninian, the two best girls. Who is the better girl? Well, I'm just going to say Lyn. Yeah, back to, and then after that, I've got another Fire Emblem list planned. What is that? Surprise. I'm not going to say. After that, no clue. But the one things I do want to do, actually, there is some lists I do want to do, like, not necessarily theme-related ones, just fun ones. One of them is the top 10 games I both love and hate, because I was thinking about that while making 12 games I instantly fell in love with, and I think it would be loads of fun just to see me, like, praise one game and then 5 minutes later shit all over it. Another one I really want to do is top 10 Dynasty Warriors crossovers. That should happen, because with Fire Emblem Warriors coming out, as well as like all the other 4 crossovers, like the amount of anime crossovers there are, One Piece, Gundam, Arslan, Titan, and Hyrule Warriors. I'm like, God, there are so many Dynasty Warriors crossovers that could work. I want to see it happen. I think it would be a really cool list. I want to do an anime list because I haven't done one in God knows how long. Yeah, stuff like that. Again, I'm the type of person where the videos, I'll do them as they come to me, but at least after the Blazing Grant video, you will get Fire Emblem, I promise. Anyway, so, Chapter 13X, I completely forgot the name. No, that's not the name of the chapter, I just completely forgot the name. This chapter, at first, didn't really care for it, but the more I play it, the better it gets. I think it's actually pretty good. I like it because it's quite interesting in the sense that, well, it's a defense mission, and I think it's structured in a pretty cool way. It's set on a little while so people can attack from, like, it's quite an open defense mission. So people, it's not like I'm confined to corridors and people can attack from various angles, but even then the entrances are quite narrow. So what you can do is, it's quite easy to just block off the entrances and huddle in, so it's an easy way to cheese this chapter. But at the same time, if you push further out, there's houses to go to, and you can attack the enemies head on and take out as many as you can to get experience points. So it's quite the risk versus reward chapter in a sense, because it is risky to go out there because you don't know what can happen. The enemies aren't weak. I'm going to use the torch technique again. And there is a chance you could, someone could get blindsided. We're going to see. Well, no one's going to die. We're going to see just exactly what I mean by that in this part, because one of these units takes one hell of a beating. I'll tell you that much. Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit tired. If you're wondering, no, I'm not drunk this time. And even then, I wasn't drunk, I was buzzed. The only time I will ever be drunk on this channel, or when I'm recording a video, is A, we're doing Mario Party and it's a drunk LP because those are hilarious, or B, I'm playing Radiant on Lunatic mode, because I'm going to need the alcohol to get through that. Just sit there, drinking my fingers right. I was like, Micaiah, why do you suck so fucking much? Why can you not double anyone? You have 10 speed at level 20, you're a disgrace. Call yourself a Fire Emblem Lord. You're lucky you're not Corrin, you stupid bitch. Just expect that type of thing, and just other units like, Soph, why can you not fucking dodge? You're like the worst pre-promote ever. Meg, I cannot stand you. Fiona, why are you a base stats this terrible? Edward, why do you suck without the weapon triangle? Yeah. That's a preview of the Radiant Dawn Lunatic run. Don't know when that happened, but you got that to look forward to, so yeah. What was I talking about? I was talking about, yeah, so as you can see, I'm moving out because I want to take the enemy's head on and get as many experience points, as well as go to the house at the top, right of the screen. But again, if you do go out, just be prepared. Enemies will attack, and it might be difficult to see them, and there might, like I said, can be deceptively difficult. I think as far as defense uses go, this one's quite interesting because, again, it's not like, I'm trying to think, it's not like, other ones where usually you're backed into a corner and you've got to defend. This one, you're literally in the center of it and you just got to block from all angles, which I like. It kind of reminds me of Radiant Dawn's retreat map where, you're in the fortress and the enemy's coming for you and you've got to block it off. Admittedly, Radiant Dawn's much easier because you have the stairways, you're like a level above them in a lot of the entrances, and when that happens in Radiant Dawn, it's like almost impossible to hit your target. No, it's impossible for them to hit you, and you will always hit them. Like, always. If you miss a unit in Radiant Dawn while standing above them, either you got super RNG screwed or your unit is trash. As you kids like to say these days, everything is trash. Your waifu is trash, your favorite anime is trash, this unit is trash, your opinions are trash, everything is trash. Yeah, but I still find it odd that despite being improvement, Marcus ain't doubling nobody. Oh, I take that back. Marcus says, fuck you, Lewis. That's just the last guy didn't double, so, I feel I got a bit carried away. I still love that Paladin sprite, though. One of the best sprites in GBA era, and, those get this era. Oh, God, that's some beautiful sprites. One thing I do want to say, though, because I noticed with the things with the orange, orange armor. Because Osmond has the orange armor, when he goes up against the knight, they look identical, and I'm like, if you didn't look at the top of the screen, it's like, wait, which one am I meant to be rooting for again? I don't know. Somebody help me. It may seem silly to send, Hector's not having the best time hitting. Oh, except for that, maybe that guy. I was going to say, it may seem silly to send in a Lance unit against all these X units, but then you remember, oh wait, I'm Oswin. I'm good. And there goes Guy. Is Guy going to be a permanent member of the team? No, sorry. Why? Because Lynn's kicking too much ass. And even then, I just don't generally use Guy sometimes. It is mainly because of Lynn, but other reasons like, well, I know it's not the same thing, but my main sword unit, aside from the fact we've got Elwood and Lynn's the two sword lords, but my main sword unit, if I'm playing Blazing Swords, is going to be Raven. Just because I think his class is better. I do think Mercenaries are better than Myrmidons and Sword Masters. But also because Raven's just fucking awesome. Like, I'm not to shit on Guy, but Raven is Raven's something else. He is awesome. Also, when Raven dies, he doesn't go profound sadness. That's not actually his quote, but if you play Street Fighter 4, you know what I'm talking about. Oh god, like, I don't think I've ever seen something so, like, Street Fighter's stupid, but that's gotta take the cake how dumb, a death quote, a losing quote can be. Yeah, and in this game, Nomads actually do count as Horus units, so they have all the same weaknesses. Sorry, this isn't Binding Blade. Unfortunate but fortunate at the same time. Unfortunate because you don't get the perks of being overpowered Nomads. Fortunate because you're not Binding Blade. Good as that game is, aside from maybe one or two things, it ain't got shit on Blazing Sword, in my opinion. Like, goddamn. The only thing I think Binding Blade's got better than Blazing Sword is better soundtrack. The story, I don't think the story's better, but there's a sense of scope. Better villains. Not to put these games' villains down. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, alright, support system is the same, but Binding Blade just feels faster. Granted, this game is much better than the one Sacred Stones, which I swear to God takes fucking ages. And don't get me started on how bad it is in Path of Radiance. Like, Jesus Christ, if you're not Icon Soren, you might as well take 20 chapters just to go up to level C. Ugh. It's a pain in the ass. But anyway, I want to move on to a different topic. Actually, oh god, the boss is after us already. Oh yeah, Lowen is the one who takes the beating and a half. Poor guy. Poor guy. We're going to talk a bit about Fire Emblem Heroes for a bit. So, currently, they're having their 6-month anniversary celebration, which is cool. Again, I don't know why, but I feel old for the fact that it's been out for 6 months. And, they're giving out the free summons and stuff like that, and that's all really cool. But the weird thing is, the better Fire Emblem Heroes gets, like with better units, more modes and stuff like that, the less I play it. Like, I don't play Fire Emblem Heroes much these days, mainly because I'm busy just, usually either working on this and that and the other, playing on console or something like that, or I'm kind of getting back into Pokemon and Phoenix Wright. So there's that too, and I don't feel the need to play a mobile game, even if it is Fire Emblem Heroes. But like I'll admit the game is definitely getting better. Like everything they're doing is to help, introduce more characters, balance things out, give us more to do, and just all that stuff. But again, I just find myself playing it less and less these days. Not to put the game down, it's just how it is. So also, yeah, a lot of you probably already know now, Valta's going to be the next hero battle, which I think is really cool. More Sacred Stones characters, and I think it works for Valta because, usually the hero battles are best when it's villains, because I think it's the best way to recruit them. You want to fight these bad guys, and because they're so strong, it makes getting them all the more worth it. So that's going to be cool, and something I did think about with Fire Emblem Heroes, I know a lot of people don't like how there's like Tellius and Sacred Stones have such limited representatives, but the way in which they're releasing the characters quite steadily, we've got the Echoes a lot, quite a few of them, Brakut, we're getting Thingy, we got Xander, we had Lloyd. They steadily release people. If they do keep this up, I think by the it's going to give the game a lot more staying power if they do it at a consistent level. Because also by the time Fire Emblem Switch comes around, I reckon they'll still have other people to put in, but then you can add all the characters from Fire Emblem Switch. But not only that, I reckon they'll even add the characters from Emblem Warriors, those 2 avatars, so there's that too. So while it is limited, while it is looking to be while the certain things are quite limited, and sorry, I little you missed, I think Heroes, if it does pace itself well with the units it releases, and also chooses very carefully the units it gives out. Again, if you're gonna show off characters, show off the most popular ones. That's why with Echoes they had Sonya and stuff, and also have Brakut, because those are the characters people give a shit about. If you had Valbar, I don't think anyone would have cared that much. I like Valbar, but he ain't no Sonya, and he ain't no Brakut. So if Heroes does keep this up, while it might be frustrating, it might help to give the game a really, really, really good shelf life, which I think would be pretty cool. Heroes is a really good mobile game, and I'd like to see it stay around and remain relevant. Though, seriously, we need more Tellius representatives. That is a undisputed, fact. We need more Tellius representatives. Just give me fucking Black Knight already. Black Knight, Jill, definitely one of the 3, and I'll be happy. Again, and it was getting good level ups. And now I want to talk about Fire Emblem Warriors, because quite a lot of news came out for that recently. Okay, so there was a trailer where it showed off both Cordelia and Female Robin. Female Robin. Cordelia looks pretty cool. Again, one thing I have to give a lot of praise to Fire Emblem Heroes for is that the way the gameplay looks and how they implemented Fire Emblem characters is really good. Legit, I'm really impressed just how much they're going out of their way to incorporate all that stuff into Fire Emblem. Whether or not it have a massive impact on the game will vary, depending on once we play the game, then we can determine for ourselves. I think I beat the chapter. Yeah, that was quick. So yes, So I mean, it could be a minor thing where it kind of feels pointless. It could be a major thing where it really does affect the gameplay. But from what I've seen, it looks really, really cool. There's one problem though. So we've seen the thing. We saw Cordelia. Okay, so we've got a Pegasus Knight from Fire Emblem Awakening. So begs the question: Warriors and also Fire Emblem Heroes. Where's Sumia? Where is she? I'm sorry. She's canonically she's Chrome's wife. She's got a cutscene where Cordelia didn't get a cutscene. So where is she? Where's Sumia? I'm waiting. If Sumia just I swear to God, I know everyone's pissed about the Fire Emblem Warriors. Whilst I get that. But if they are going to limit it to Awakenings, Fates, and Shadow Dragon, if Sumia's not in this game, I am going to go to Koei Tecmo with a shotgun and a machete and just claim my vengeance, and then also go to the head office and force them to program to put Sumia in the game. Yes, I will do it. There'll be a news story. One fanboy got so fucking angry, he went on a massacre just so they put one of his favorite characters in the game. I'm proud of it. Okay, maybe not, but point is, we need more Sumia in these spin-offs, man. She is best god of the Awakening. I mean, come on. Heroes I don't get because we've already got loads of Awakening characters, and you think Kazumi, at the end of the day, she is one of the main ones, kind of. So you think she'd be in there, and Warriors, just fucking do it, man. Do it for me, please. Please, I want... Like, I swear to God, if I get to play as Sumiya, cutting up God knows how many foes in the most over-the-top action ever, I won't give a shit who else is in the game. Like, people complain, yo, you can't play as Black, they can't play as... It's like, I don't fucking care, I get to play as Sumiya. Best game ever, 10 out of 10. That's all I care about. You give me my best girl, and I'm good. Fire Emblem Warriors. I'll buy 20 versions of you just so I can play as Sumiya on 20 different TV screens or 20 different Switches. Yes, I will do that. Anything else? Oh yeah, also there's a rumor that the next showing off of characters is going to be a Wyvern and a bow user. So everyone's saying it's going to be Fate, it's going to be Camilla, it's going to be Takumi. I feel the same way. Yeah, it makes the most sense to show them off because we've seen more than enough Awakening. So, show off Fates next. And Camilla and Takumi, if they are going to put characters in, duh, go with them. Takumi, because as far as the Shido people goes, he's one of the more popular ones and he's like the best written. And Camilla because it's Camilla. No two ways about it. Camilla is Camilla. Oh, and also, yeah, Merlin's... sorry to talk about Merlin this, but in this game, they kind of just play him up as a joke. He's just a sniveling coward. But I always thought to myself, I always wondered, why in Binding Blade he has such a position of power. Then I think I got it. I bet he went to Edward, was like, Edward, if you don't give me some form of authority, when you take the throne, I'm going to tell the world what you really did to your wife. And he's like, God damn it, continuity, damn it to hell. Gotta blackmail that motherfucker, because if you know what happens in Blazing Sword, technically Edward did do something wrong. So... there's that. But anyway, thank you all once again very much for watching. Sorry that's just only me, but I'll try and get either Zane or Olivia back on as soon as I can. But when we meet next time, we're going to explore a chapter we saw in Binding Blade and a person we saw in Binding Blade who we're not exactly happy to see. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. See you next time.